Hey sis, good afternoon. Happy Sunday. This is your girl, Myelin, founder of Womb Women on Minority Businesses. And today is my 26th, day 26 of 31 live days of December. Thank you so much for joining me. Over these past few weeks, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about this platform, and I'm excited to be able to do some new things with it in 2022. Okay, we got all of that out the way, right? Because we have been doing, like I said, I've been doing the past 25 days all about, things that impact womb and networking and relationship building in your business and all that fun stuff. But got to change it up, right? Got to change it up a little bit because guess what, guys? It is Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is hands down like just one of my favorite holidays. I love the spirit behind it. I love all of the positive things, all the positive conversations that come out of it. So even though this is day 26 for me of my 31 live days of December, I'm kind of rebranding it for the next 7 days because it is now 7 live days of Kwanzaa. And I'm still going to be talking about business. I'm still going to be talking about relationship building, but in the respect of what's happening over the next 7 days. And some of you might already be familiar with Kwanzaa, and great. So I hope you come on here and celebrate with me. And some of you might not know anything about Kwanzaa, even better, because then you can learn some stuff about this really unique holiday and how it can impact you all year, even though it's something that we celebrate. For those of us who do celebrate it, it's something we celebrate for the last week of the year. The principles of Kwanzaa can absolutely be, celebrated and used as a guide all year long. So today we're going to be talking about the very first day of Kwanzaa, which is, I don't know, should I say it's the most important? I think it's definitely the one you got to start with, right? So today is UMOJA, which means unity. And if you are on my Facebook page at all, you might, over the next week, you'll start to see, actually, let me get rid of my brand so you can see the whole thing. You'll start to see my flyers going up. And so folks can learn a little bit more about the holiday. So today is all about UMOJA, which means unity. And the official definition for today, the official word for the day, it means it's to strive for and to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. All right, so we're going to talk about unity today and why that's so important in this day and age that we're in. But I also want to give you a little bit of information on the holidays so you can understand some of the symbols you'll see me talk about throughout the week. So we have 7 principles of Kwanzaa, and each day there is a new principle that is focused on. And we don't say Merry Christmas or, things like that. It's not a religious holiday. So you'll see people posting on Kwanzaa, on their pages. It's like, what is that? So if you see Habari Gani, that means what's the word for the day? And the appropriate response is whatever the principle of the day is. So if someone says Habari Gani on their page, they don't say anything else. They're looking for you to respond with the principle of the day. So the appropriate response today would be UMOJA. That's it. That's all you gotta say, right? So Habari Gani is what's the news for the day, and it is UMOJA, where it's all about unity today. The other thing that you might see people post is you'll see at the bottom here where it says Heri za Kwanzaa. That's really how we say happy Kwanzaa, right? Heri za Kwanzaa. So you can also say that as well. But Habari Gani you'll see that more often than Heri za Kwanzaa, right? But I always put both of them up there so people can, learn a little bit more, right? So I've been celebrating Kwanzaa for many, many, many years. And so I figured today, in addition to talking about the whole principle of unity, I wanted to share my Kwanzaa celebrations with you. So I brought all of my, excuse my camera, but I brought all of my stuff into my office here so that y'all could see how I do all of this. So hold on, let me just switch over here so We can go big screen here. All right, so this is my this is my setup for Kwanzaa here. I'm trying to look at the same time, see what y'all are seeing. Right, this is some behind the scenes. Now, y'all see this picture all the time, so that's not new. But that was just to cover up my whiteboard. But all of these things here are a part of, for me, my personal celebration for Kwanzaa. All right. So first of all, we have my mat here that explains each of the principles. That I just thought it was, it's a nice mat. But it goes over all the principles. So I always make sure that's included on my Kwanzaa table. All right. So let's start with my Kanara. I'm going to put my camera down so I can do this at the same time. All right, I'm going to start with my Kanara. And so Kanara is a candle holder. Now this tells y'all how long I've been knowing this. Look at my Kanara. And look at my candles. It's really important to me that I keep the candles going each year until it's just completely gone and I have to get new candles. So these are about 3 years old now. You can kind of tell they get melted in storage a little bit. But that also for me, it's like I'm not really worried about it being pretty. This represents the fact that this is a tradition that I've been carrying on for many years. And it's just, it's been through a lot, right? So our Kanara is our candle holder and it holds our 7 candles. And each one is representative of a day. Okay, so today I'll be and I'm not doing this online, but today I'll be lighting the UMOJA candle, which is in the middle, and then you alternate red, green, red, green, red, green until you get until you have all 7 days. All right, so that is my candle holder. And let's see, my mat here. This is my mkeka. Now the mkeka is supposed to be a straw mat, which was destroyed when I moved, and I haven't gotten a new one. So I use a traditional cloth as my mkeka, which it holds everything on our Kwanzaa table. So then I have our muhindi, which is our corn, and the corn represents our kids. So I have 2 sons and my brother has a son. So even though they're not babies anymore, we still, that represents our children. And as we get grandkids and things like that, we'll add more muhindi to our bowl. Kikombe cha UMOJA is the unity cup. It's like a pimp chalice. I did. Oh, it always cracks me up, but this is I use for my unity cup. Okay. And instead of zawadi are the gifts that we give during this time. And the zawadi is really supposed to they're not supposed to just, buy a PS5. That's not really, it's not really what we do during Kwanzaa. So the gifts that you give are supposed to represent the uplifting of the race. And so since we don't have little kids anymore, I don't have, the zawadis that we would used to give away. But instead, I have pictures of my grandparents and my great-grandparents here, and a necklace that was my grandmother's. And then I have, of course, the book I wrote and my brother's book. We're both authors. So there's my brother's Red Lines, Baltimore 2028. And then my What's Your Oil? It'll be adding another one soon. And then I have a picture of my family when all the kids were small. So that's my whole setup for, okay, I'm gonna put my camera back for Kwanzaa. Roxy, leave that alone. And my dog is eating things. So I light the candles. I usually do a prayer. And then I just try to focus on that particular principle for the day. Okay, so I'm going to share this again so you can see it. So again, today's principle is UMOJA, and it's all about unity, striving for unity within your family, within your community, in your nation, and the race. So what's interesting for me when we talk about UMOJA is, we have kind of the nice, oh yes, let's all come together and unite and be as one. And I think that is, we make a mistake in our community. That being unified means we're all the same. right? And so we want the same things, we have the same values, we have the same types of goals, and that's just not true. You know, having unity in our in within our community, within our race, is really going to um, really test the idea of being able to accept each other despite our differences. So we may have had different upbringings and different, you know, beliefs and things like that, but being able to still be able to come together within our community and create something special. And so, you know, when we talk about unity within our race, our communities, our neighborhoods, it's more so being willing to listen to each other and talk to each other, and sometimes come to an agreement, and sometimes you're not going to come to an agreement, but you got to be okay with that. That's what unity is. That it's not everybody agreeing on everything, and, you know, flowers and ducks and bunnies, right? It's really respecting each other and working towards a better, you know, tomorrow for ourselves. It doesn't mean everything we're going to agree on everything, but it does mean that we have to respect each other in the spirit of unity, respecting each other and looking for ways to find commonalities where we're able to make things better. All right. I think there's a misconception about African American community, that we all do the same things, want the same things, we vote the same way, and that's not the case. But that doesn't mean we can't be unified. There's just some things we need to get together and back each other up on. There's just some discussions that we have. Y'all hear my dog? She's a mess. There's just some things that we have to be able to come together on. And so I think today, as you are looking, you know, what does unity mean to you? How can you participate in your community, in your organizations, whatever, to make sure that we're creating that respect that's necessary for each other to be able to come together and unify. All right. Let me put an asterisk here. And this has come up a couple of times, especially in the past couple of years, right? Us coming together and being unified and accepting each other and respecting each other's beliefs does not mean that I have to accept your belief that is negatively impacting me. I see that a lot, right? Especially, you know, during the Trump time. There we go. My camera got cut off real quick. Somebody was listening to what I was saying. But if we don't agree with each other on something, and that thing that we disagree on is negative, you know, it's a negative thing when it comes to my life, then no, I don't have to agree with you. You know, we might not be unified. We could disagree on politics. We can disagree, you know, on movies. We can disagree. We can even disagree when it comes to religion. But if your beliefs in some way um, dehumanizes me, or wants to make me less than, then no, we're not going to agree. We're just not going to be unity there. All right. With that being said, I'm excited to, you know, talk about Kwanzaa this week, and hopefully you get a little bit out of it. And even if you don't celebrate Kwanzaa, you know, take a moment today to look at what you're doing in your life. How are you bringing about unity in your family, right? In your families, in your community, in for your people, all right? And that's if we all do a little bit, if we all, you know, work every day to just bring something positive to our everyday, to the planet. Think of how great things would be if everyone actively just wanted to do something positive. So I hope you reflect on unity today, and how you can make some tweaks and changes in 2022 to bring more unity into our communities, and we all have to make the world a better place. So I will see you tomorrow for day 2 / day 27 of my 7/31 live days. Y'all be blessed. I will see you tomorrow for day 2 of Kwanzaa. Bye.